Today we're diving into the world of superbugs to look at their secret weapon. It's this tiny but incredibly powerful motor that keeps them going, even when they should be dead. This is the story of the bacteria's secret engine. You know, it's one of the biggest questions in modern medicine, right? We throw our best antibiotics at these things, and somehow the superbugs just keep finding ways to survive, to thrive. It feels like they have this hidden advantage, a secret tool that keeps them running when everything else fails. So, what is it? All right, first things first. To really get how these bacteria are so tough, we have to look deep inside them at a really crucial piece of their machinery. I want you to think of it like a submarine that has a secret backup engine, you know? If the main power gets knocked out, this special little motor just kicks right in. It lets the bacteria handle all kinds of stress, whether it's our own immune system attacking it or the antibiotics we're using to try and wipe it out. So what do we call this secret weapon? Well, it's time to put a name to it. Scientists call it Cytochrome BD. And honestly, understanding how this thing works is the very first step to figuring out how to shut it down for good. Okay. To get what Cytochrome BD does, we really only need one key term: terminal oxidase. See, any life form that breathes oxygen, that includes us, uses something called a respiratory chain to make energy. A terminal oxidase is the final, most important step in that whole chain. It's the enzyme that does the grand finale. It hands off electrons to oxygen to generate power for the cell. So here you can see it. Cytochrome BD is sitting right at the very end of the bacteria's little energy factory. Its job is simple but absolutely critical. It takes oxygen, combines it with electrons, and makes water. And that simple reaction, it generates the power, kinda like a tiny cellular battery that fuels absolutely everything the bacteria needs to do. But here's the really crucial part. This isn't just any terminal oxidizer. Oh no. It's more like a Swiss Army knife for survival. For one, it grabs onto oxygen like crazy, so bacteria can keep breathing even in places with hardly any O2, like deep inside an infected wound. It also keeps chugging along even when it's hit with toxins like cyanide that would shut our own systems down cold. And, as if that weren't enough, it helps protect the bacteria from the weapons our own immune system throws at it. It's a true survivalist engine. But here's the twist in the story. This incredible survival tool, it also has a totally unique feature. A specific design that's completely different from anything in our bodies. And that difference, well, that's its Achilles heel. So the functional core of these engines are these little molecules called hemes. You've definitely heard of one before. Hemoglobin uses a heme to carry oxygen in your blood. Now, while our own cellular engines use a pretty common type called heme A, Cytochrome BD uses a very rare, very unusual version called heme D. And this slide just lays it all out, side by side. The bacterial engine uses that unique heme D, and get this, it has 0 copper atoms. Our engines, on the other hand, use heme A and absolutely need copper to work. This fundamental difference in their design, that is the weakness we can attack. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The scientific community is all over this. This quote from a major review on the topic says it all. Because this engine is uniquely bacterial, it is the perfect target for new drugs that can kill the bug without hurting the patient. Which brings us to the most exciting part of this whole thing, the counterattack. How do we actually take this knowledge and use it to fight back against these superbugs? The strategy is just so elegant. Since the bacterial engine has a unique structure, think of it as a different shaped lock, we can design a key that fits only that lock. We can literally create a molecule that gums up the works of Cytochrome BD, shutting down the bacteria's backup power without ever touching our own cells. And this isn't just a theory, not at all. Scientists have already found a key that fits this lock perfectly. It's a natural compound called orachin D, and it works by doing exactly what we've been talking about. It specifically targets and shuts down the bacteria's secret engine. And here's the proof right here. This table shows something called the IC50 value. All you need to know is that it measures how much of a drug you need to shut the enzyme down. And the key thing is, a lower number means the drug is way more potent. As you can see, orachin D is incredibly effective. And even better, researchers have already created tweaked versions or analogs like 1X that are even more powerful. It proves the whole concept works. So where do we go from here? Well, we don't have to just rely on getting lucky and finding these keys out in nature. We can actually design them from the ground up, using some seriously powerful modern tools. This is how it's done now.
It's a process called in silico docking, which is really just a fancy way of saying we design drugs inside a computer. Scientists take the 3D map of the enzyme, they pinpoint the exact spot they want to attack, and then they use super powerful software to test how millions of potential drug molecules might fit or dock into that site. Then they can just rank the best fits, make them in the lab, and test them. It massively speeds up the hunt for that perfect key. And that really leaves us with a fascinating thought. For decades, we've basically just been carpet bombing bacteria, trying to destroy them. But by taking the time to understand these intricate, unique little engines that help them survive, we've found a whole new way forward. Maybe the secret to solving some of our biggest medical challenges wasn't in our labs all this time, but was hiding inside these tiny engines all along.